This is Dr. Karmen Smith, and this is another session of Mental Health Made Simple. Thank you for joining me in this series because I want to debunk and make mental health simple, because I think over the years it's been taken over by pharmaceutical companies and people that want to distance simple concepts about mental health from regular people, and so that they can make money or they can make it seem like a mystery, and it doesn't have to be so complicated. So today I'd like to talk about suicide prevention, but specifically how it affects relatives and partners, spouses, friendships, because I've had a lot of people have some concerns about loved ones that have had some thoughts about suicide. And it just seems to take them over as far as emotionally. They feel drained, they feel helpless, they feel powerless. And they reach out and they say, I don't know what to do. You know, they won't seek help. They have all the suicide hotline numbers. They have access to mental health services like a therapist, even a pastor, but they're not seeking treatment. But what they are doing is telling me that they're going to do it, and I'm running around like a crazy person trying to figure out my responsibility in it, and what should I do. So I want to target that specific question. What can you do when someone that you love and care about is talking about suicide, and also let's say that they have a plan for suicide, and they continue to kind of dump this information on you as if you can save them, but yet they're not saving themselves. So let's start out by saying that the only thing that you can do is provide information to an adult. We're talking about an adult. Because an adult has rights. They have the right to choose help. They have the right to choose not to get help. So you can provide numbers. You can provide a therapist. You can provide possibly transportation. But keep in mind, it's up to that person to accept that and follow through on it. The other thing is that you don't want to be weighted down with all of this emotional guilt or responsibility, like it's your responsibility to save someone. This is false. The responsibility and the onus is on that person to seek help. It is on that person to follow through with recommendations. It is not up to you to change a person, and you cannot force a person to do something that they do not want to do. There are caveats, like if that person is immediately going to harm other people, then the police will make a determination to court order them into treatment. So that's a whole other thing. But I'm talking about when people just feel guilty and they can't seem to save another person. And maybe that happens in movies, but in real life, that person needs to make the steps to get help, the help they need. The best thing that you can do, and I want you to listen with both ears, the best thing that you can do for your family, for your community, for the people that you love, is to be an example of wholeness, to be the example of someone that is filled with confidence about the future, that is positive about their abilities. And so when you have an example of that, and you show an example of that, and you are living in the example of wholeness, meaning lacking nothing, then you're showing by your very presence what health looks like, what non-depression looks like, what hope looks like. That is the best thing that you can do, because a person that is depressed can only see that frequency. Sometimes they can only see the negative. They can only see what's going wrong. But if you have been working on yourself, then you are walking in the example of love, compassion, hope, all of that kind of thing. And your very presence is a contradiction to what they're looking at, to what they see. And that is the best medicine for depression. So let's work on ourselves. Let's see what parts of us need healing. Let's see what we don't need to be carrying around, anger, resentment, all that other kind of junk. And let's step into a different paradigm, one of love, hope, joy, confidence. All of those upper vibrational frequencies are more powerful than the lower ones of sadness, guilt, shame, all of that, fear. So the best thing that you can do for your loved one is to be your authentic self, which is fabulous. Just clear away the junk and let's be the example of wholeness. Love you.